There we go. Yay!
Hey, 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 hey.
We're here.
Am I glitching?
A little bit like I
A
was
little bit.
last week.
Okay. 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 I'm like, it seemed like I'm glitching a little bit. All right. Let's do it. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes. And we are here at the fifth
Yes,
installment,
it's the fifth movie, Seed of
fifth
Chucky.
installment of the franchise, Seed of Chucky. Yes. And I see why it got the flack that it did.
Yeah, it
I
definitely
see it.
it
It was
definitely
so cringy.
yeah, yeah.
It was so cringy from the very beginning, the intro. Mm. But it had parts that I did like. So it did have parts that I did like.
I okay, I don't love this movie, but it's funny. Like I just always find it's a funny watch. Like I love the bookend of
Mhm.
him and Tiffany's story. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I always found it funny, and I like the character of Glen and Glenda. Like
I wish I could see.
the only
I
character
wish
I
I could
really
see
didn't like was Redman's. Honestly,
Yeah.
I like the rest of them. I didn't think they were
Yeah.
bad at all.
Redman didn't seem like he fit. And when I found out that they originally had the idea of having Quentin Tarantino do like this
Mhm.
kind of, you know, meta director, I was like, damn, that would have been so much better. But we got Redman.
You get what you get.
We got Redman, so it's like,
But I feel like my biggest complaint is the look of the dolls in this one.
yeah, that's one thing. The dolls definitely did look different, but the
Right.
animatronics, they did their thing with, like, it was a lot of work that they did for three dolls.
All right. So
So,
I actually researched this part of it. So
hmm
Tony Gardner, who's been on the set since forever, right?
hmm
As a special effects artist. Like I said, I was saying how his daughter is now working with him on the TV show.
yeah, yeah,
And he's the guy that is gets his head cut off by Tiffany
Mhm.
and Chucky, right? So
Right,
he's
right,
the actual
right.
special effects guy.
Yep.
And he took over for Kevin Yeager,
Okay.
which I think is why it looks so different because it's his
hmm
spin on it. But
hmm
Tiffany got a real down. They made her look real basic. Like she ain't had no coat. She had the
Yeah.
choker and that wig. That lace front was not it. I'm sorry. Like I love Tiffany and they did her so wrong with that wig.
Yeah. It wasn't the best. It just
No.
wasn't the best. They didn't do my girl good. They
No,
didn't
they
do my
didn't.
girl good. Mm.
They really didn't. Plus this one doesn't really have like a good story either. Like it's just it's literally like watching an episode of any like relationship situational comedy. It's just funny. It's just a funny
Yeah.
movie.
It was a soap opera, like
It
with
really was.
serial killers.
Yeah,
Serial
it's
killer dogs. It was a soap opera with them.
the family comedy. Like I love family comedy, so for me it was fine. But yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't scary. It was just hilarious. And I remember this is the only Chucky movie I have seen in theater.
Really?
Is Seed, yes,
Okay.
because I was in high school when this came out. So all the
Okay.
other ones we were like little when the other
Yeah.
ones came out.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I went to go see one, and man, look,
And this was the
I was
last one to be released in the theaters too.
yes, yes,
Yep.
the last one. So it's kind of sad we went out with like not a great movie, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
That Martha
It was.
Stewart joke gets me every time.
The Britney Spears one got me. 'Cause this one also had like some one-liners, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, you and your horrific one. This is the one. Chucky's gonna be a bro in this one. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, like they're the worst. I
the
cannot
worst.
stand them.
I think this one was worse though. Like
No,
I
no, this one had context because the song, like it made sense. But
right.
no, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna give you Chucky's gonna be a bro. I'm never. You will never get that from me.
Oh man. But so Seed of Chucky is the lowest rated one too on
Hell yeah,
IMDb.
it is.
It is at a 4.9 out of 10. Not good. Not good at all. And it's the lowest grossing film in the franchise because it grossed, I mean, it wasn't a financial disaster. It did get its $12 million budget back. So it grossed 24 million against $12 million budget. So they got their money back, but it was the lowest one. And then that added with the mixed to negative reviews from critics, it just did not do this movie any good. But this also was Don Mancini's like directorial debut. So I was
Yes.
like happy about that. It was written and directed by Don Mancini. He also takes the blame for the direction of the movie. He's very open with us of like, hey, I wanted to do something very different.
Yes.
Did that. And this was the first movie that I saw, like rewatching it, it definitely went off the rails.
Oh, definitely,
But
definitely went off the rails.
usually I love when movies, well, I can say I love this too. I love when movies, like long franchise movies, go off the rails because every single franchise does it. Because with Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell was so bad. I mean, terrible.
It
Freddy
really
Dead,
is.
that was another one. Bad. Um, so yeah, like every franchise has that one movie that
Yeah.
just does not perform well.
Yeah,
It
5, 6 is usually where things get bad with any franchise.
Yeah, yeah. And it I mean, just from how this movie starts off, we know it's about to get so crazy. So if you don't mind, I'll take it away.
Hey, I'm here for it, man.
So I will take it away. So we start, the opening sequence is, well, at first I didn't know what this white substance was. We see, we get the little intro of like a film by Don Mancini,
Yeah.
David Kirshner's, we get all that. And then this like white substance comes down, and then we go to some sperm. We go to
Yeah.
some
It
sperm.
was like very look who's talking.
Very, with such a dark uh element.
With
So we
bad
see
CGI.
we see the little title card pop up. Seed of Chucky, this the spermies is going through what we now know is vaginal. It's a vagina, okay? It's going, it meets the little egg, the cells start forming, a little baby forms so quick, and then the baby's born, and it's like, So the opening scene was so funny to me because we see from the point of view of the doll. We don't know this. We don't know who this is, what it is. We just see a box being ripped open. A mom, a husband, and their daughter is looking and like so disgusted. And they're like,
Very.
"What the hell is this? It's
Not
hideous."
did it throw you off the first time that you saw it when they were like British? Because it threw me off.
It definitely threw me off. Absolutely, it threw me so far off. And the the dog just gets put away, like, just put this away. Hideous. Later on that night, the dog comes awake. They come out their little, it seemed like it's maybe a chest. The dog comes out the chest, going through, boom, stabs the dad. He falls down. We got the first kill. Then this little person goes upstairs, pulls back the curtain of the shower, drops the knife, and then she like falls in the shower, hit her head. It was a very awkward.
You know what? I liked it though because it was like a throwback to Psycho, but not well
Yeah,
executed.
Yeah, this movie definitely did some callbacks. It did a few callbacks. So that was like a callback to Psycho. It was like a wink in the gun to Psycho.
Yeah,
Which
I
I
like how
was like,
I
okay.
actually liked her falling out the tub and cracking her head. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was different. So um he walks away, goes to the room to, I'm assuming, to go kill the little girl, and she's like, ew, you're pissing your pants. So it's
You're
like,
pissing your pants. You're
yeah,
pissing your pants.
oh my gosh.
She was
So
funny. I'm
bad.
sorry.
She was like, Stagger little girl kept it real, no
She was
matter
funny
what.
as she was funny as
She
hell.
kept it real. So the doll wakes up and we see god awful this god awful doll. We don't know this doll's name just yet. And I like that, behind the scenes, they said they wanted this doll to look hideous as possible, and they hit it.
Well, it looked hideous when it was born.
Absolutely. Ooh, like, ooh, just oh. And the thing is, I wanted to like this doll, but god damn, his little whiny voice, their little whiny ass English ass voice was just like,
I like okay. I think because I grew up watching Lord of the Rings, I'm familiar with Billy Boyd's voice.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I like that he played it so innocent. Like I
mm-hmm.
love his little hello. I love his little voice.
Mm. Mommy, daddy, like I just, oh, don't get me
Yes,
started. Oh,
mommy. Hello, mom. I love it.
uh,
Dad,
it
I
was
love
cute.
it.
That mixed with the face, it was just, ugh.
I think you
And
just biased because he was ugly. It's not his
it
fault.
was, it was, it. I had a very bias against him being
It's
ugly,
not
but
his
he
fault that
he
he
grew
looked like
on me. He grew on me, and it wasn't until I was watching, Dead Meat. He always going in. I love watching his kill counts. He compared the dog looking like David Bowie, and I was like,
that. Yes.
I had a moment where I was like, "Yep, that's it. That's it." He looks like
All
David
I'm
Bowie.
saying,
He looks like
yes,
David
he looked
Bowie.
like David Bowie in
Yep,
Labyrinth. He really does.
yep. Very goth. Very goth, but still has an innocence. So he's in this cage, and the guy is like, "You're pissing your pants." He's yelling at him too, and we see that the the doll. He found the doll in the cemetery
Hmm.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that, and he has like a show of him with the ventriloquist doll, and he's
Yeah,
calling him shit face.
yeah, Sykes and Shitface.
I didn't like that. Now that I did not
Yeah,
like. I
like
was like,
look,
what y'all
I
doing?
didn't expect Glenn to be a looker. This boy was an orphan.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He's an orphan. How he's supposed to look? He an orphan. He ain't got nobody taking care of him. He ain't had nobody put a little lotion on his face, get him
nothing.
ready
No
in the morning,
love.
comb his hair, nothing.
He thought his name. They thought their name was shitface.
Yes.
Like that was so sad to me.
And
But
he was terrible to him.
he was, and you see, this kid would not hurt a fly, quite literally, because a fly
Literally.
a fly lands on his little hand, and he's like, "There you go." And I'm just like, "Oh, you ugly little thing, you like you so ugly, but I just want to hold you." Oh, but
Just don't look at me.
just don't look at me in the eye. Like I can't look at you in the eye. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And little shit face, he sees on the TV that Chucky and Tiffany are doing their press run for their new movie called Chucky Goes Psycho. So yes, we are in a movie within a movie, which I hate. I hated that. Uh,
Really?
I didn't like it. I didn't like that we didn't get any further with the movie within the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see
We
that.
didn't get further with that. Like at least with Scream, it was more dialogue around the script of the movie within the movie within the movie, but we didn't get that. We just got the introduction of, this Santa Claus. He's walking through a cemetery, and his girlfriend's breaking up with him, and he sees Chucky, and Tiffany comes around, wraps that little slinky around his neck, and we see that Tiffany and Chucky have been like remodeled with new,
Yeah.
they've been updated. So I'm assuming these are the same killer dolls from the infamous murders that have been taken to Hollywood, given a little retouch. So they have the little wires in their back and stuff, and
Yeah. And
they
the
are
fact that like
updated.
Tiffany was burnt up.
Yeah, she was burnt to a crisp.
They say it's like they found these dolls near their murders, but like Tiffany was burnt. So how
Mm-hmm.
did they reconstruct her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it explains the bad wig, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I love that scene. I'm sorry, Chucky. He's like, you were. She was like, you're not real. You were never real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know how that can fuck with your mind? Like, I love that shit.
It was cool. It was cool. I did like that too.
I was mad that it was in a fake movie. I was like, ooh, they out here killing Santa. Like, I was
Mhm.
excited.
Right, right. I would have loved to see Chucky go psycho. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Go back upstairs. I would have loved to see Chucky go
And
psycho.
just that's just a horrible title for a movie. Let's just
Yeah, it's so like it's so lazy.
we gotta
Like
call it something.
like Chucky Goes Psycho is the laziest title I ever heard of.
Yeah.
But given the right script, I would have gave it a try. I would have gave
Yeah.
it a little
Yeah.
try, you know. So we on set with the movie, and the Santa Claus, he's also British as well too.
Yes.
Accent, which I'm like, God damn it, we're still doing this. So they're upset. He's upset. He walks off being a drama queen, and the newscaster lets us know, like, hey, this is we're at the set of this movie of the infamous dolls from all these murders that still are unsolved to this day. So little shitface, he sees them on TV when they're doing their little press run and sees the little thing saying made in Japan. So he's like, my mom, my dad, my mommy and daddy.
And when did that ever pop up? We ain't never seen no Made in Japan
No,
on him
at
in
all,
4 movies.
at all. And I feel like it would have been made in China though, not Japan. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but I feel like most of our toys came from
I
China.
would have said Taiwan, to be honest.
I mean that too. That too. So little shitface, he books it out of there. They book it out of there. And
That
I mean,
run,
I say the animatronics on this movie was up, they was kind of up to par with
that
2004.
that run.
That run was like he was gliding. He was
Yes,
gliding through the
his
streets.
little puppet leg.
He was gliding through the streets and he jumps on the back of a truck, and somehow that truck must have led him to an airplane because we see a little map where he goes all the way across the globe and gets to LA.
Which makes no sense because how did he get himself in a box?
None at all. But you know, like I said, we off the rails on this movie. So
Yeah,
anything,
all belief suspended.
and you know, we'll get to that too. All the disbelief just suspended. Put it on the shelf. Don't even worry
Yeah,
about it.
don't ask no questions.
Yes. So he gets to LA, he gets to the exact studio, he gets to them, and he has the heart of Dumbala. And he does the chant. He does the infamous chant.
But
And
it's so cute though, because he's like, Mommy, Daddy,
yes,
I have the necklace you left to me.
yes.
Is it our family crest?
Oh my gosh. And that's another question that's like, how did he keep this amulet
He
this
was
whole
a
time?
baby. He was a little baby.
Like I have, and that's the inquisitive part of me because I just have so many questions, but I can't ask them because it ain't gonna make no sense. It's not gonna make no sense. Just shut up and just enjoy the movie, girl. Just shut up. So he does the chant, brings them back to life instantly, because usually it don't even work that quick, but it brought him back quick like that, and they looking at him like, who are you? What the fuck is going on here?
He gets flamed.
I mean,
Flamed.
instantly. I feel like they were saying everything that we were thinking, though. They were saying everything that we were thinking because I was like, yeah, especially Chucky. You know, Chucky ain't got no filter.
He got no sense. He have to go that hard in that way when that man said, It looks like he fell out the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
Man, listen. I was like, well, dang, I don't feel so bad for thinking that he looked ugly because he said it. Like I was thinking it, but he said it. Okay, he
I
said
feel
it.
bad for your parents, like just talking all the shit.
Talking hella shit. Oh my gosh, such. And I mean, this is the funny parts of this movie. I love the funny parts of this movie. Like, its point is to make us laugh in these moments. So I love this movie for that. And then we get the guy, we get the actual effects guy, the actual effects guy. Like he
Hold on.
played himself.
But wait, you gotta talk about when they realize that that's their baby.
Yes. So it really don't click to them that this is the baby, which is like, so do she remember having the baby when she was burnt to a crisp
I
before she
don't know.
died?
Because he showed his wrist and then she was like, oh my God. So I don't think she had any recollection.
Yeah, I don't even think she had any recollection that she was even like
Pregnant.
pregnant
Yeah.
at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're parents now. Now Tiffany takes them in. Like
Baby.
she becomes motherly, like, come on, baby, I'ma hold you on my
But
shoulder.
we
Like,
talked about that in the last one about this is what she's always wanted is a
it,
family with Chucky.
oh
So for her, she's
my
like,
God.
ooh, yes, come
Yes.
here.
That was so heartfelt of just seeing her fully jump in head first. I'm
Come
a
to
mom,
mommy.
right? And Chucky actually he brings up the name because they're kind of going back and forth of like, this is my son, this is my
Well,
daughter.
he passed out first.
Yeah, he did. He did. He passed, which we've never seen Chucky pass out.
Nigga passed the fuck out.
Who would have known seeing his child would make him pass? We would see Chucky pass the fuck out for the first time in this franchise.
I just
The
never
only time in this
understood
franchise.
why they were so confused. Like, you two are dolls. Who else would have another doll running around but you two? Like, are there like there's no other dolls, y'all?
Exactly. So I like that Chucky seems to take to his new son as well because he
Mhm.
comes up with the name Glen.
Yes.
I don't know how he came up with Glen. And then Tiffany's like Glenda. So, and Glenda is not really
Well,
they're kind of just there.
Don, and apparently we've been saying it's supposed to be Don Mancini. Don Mancini
Mm,
took the inspiration from this Ed Wood movie
okay.
where the lead character was trans.
Okay.
They're either trans or just having sexual identity issues. But this was back in like the
Gender fluid stuff.
yeah, like back in like the 50s.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was like a very like it wasn't like very PC, but it was a very groundbreaking movie because Ed Wood himself
Yeah.
was well, he wasn't trans, but he liked to dress like a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't have really the
Yeah.
words. They
And
didn't have a name for
I only know about this because with the research I've done, but I actually watched the Ed Wood movie with Johnny Depp
that. Okay.
years ago.
Okay.
And it touched on that. So yeah, that's where they got the name from. Because Don, he's always gonna throw it to his people.
He is, and I love that. And I love that he does that because it was not like he's in the shoes of someone who is a part of this community. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
this is 04.
Yeah, like 2004 is still a time of not so much acceptance, but we're
Oh yeah.
working up to it. Like it was being introduced because it's like, okay, let's test the waters. And I appreciate
People were still openly using the F word. So
God.
this was not the time for advocacy, and he always did. But yeah, I thought that was really cool that he named him after this great groundbreaking character in the
Absolutely.
community. So
Yeah.
Glenn and Glenda. But yeah, Chucky and Tiffany were like, all right, this is our baby. Glenn, Glenda, whatever. We'll figure it out later.
Yep. I like that Chucky he came around too. Even though he wasn't as like, come on, baby, but he was just like my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
he
my
was
boy.
actually pretty once he woke up. from
Right?
being passed out. He was actually very happy.
Yeah, he's
So
like,
I
that's my
was
boy.
like this is we like I said in the last film, this is the first time we're seeing a different side of Chucky. Like he has been a serial killer murderer doll for the first three movies. In the fourth installment, we're seeing him have a love interest. And we're seeing Chucky get lucky. So, it was good to see that side. And now we're seeing a whole different side of him, not only being having a love interest, but he is a parent. He's a father. He don't deny. He don't deny nothing. He ain't no deadbeat daddy. He is like, this is my boy.
Do you think that he evolved as a person? Even though he's a serial killer, but as an archetype, do you think that there was an evolution of the archetype of what a serial
Yeah.
killer could be?
Yes, I think so. I think he gets to the point where he comes around to who he actually is.
Yeah, I think that this movie definitely the bride and this movie is a
Hmm.
very interesting perspective of humanizing a serial killer.
And I mean, like I said, there are some parts of this movie I do not like, but most of the undertones I really, really, truly like. I really,
Because when
truly.
you really think about it, like serial killers, they do have families and children, and like in real life, they really do.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
So, and they're like always like, oh, well, he was the best dad, and he was the little league coach or the youth pastor, but they had like 40 bodies in the basement. Like,
Yep. Yep. Good stuff. But we get right back into like Tiffany and Chucky. They waste no time getting to the shit because when the special effects guy comes in and he grabs Tiffany's doll, he grabs Tiffany, he goes to her back and unscrews her. And even though I've watched this movie a few times, I'm just like, what is they about to see? What is you about to uncover? You
it's,
about to
it,
unscrew
it,
her back?
it looks really gross. It
It
does.
looked so gross. So we see basically like her spine and muscles, like,
Yeah.
and it's moving. So he's like, "What the hell?" And I feel like this was a good kill. I like
I
that
love this one.
they decapitated him with a wire. It was great. Oh my gosh, popped his head out. If this movie would have been in 3D and that head popping out at the to the screen would have been, it would have been good.
I feel like the fact that like he got to create his own kill
Yeah,
as a special effects artist is great. But on top of that, you have that moment that it is, I'm sorry, as a psycho, it's beautiful of the
yeah,
blood raining on them. They just look at each other and they're just so in love. Like
yep.
they still, the spark is still there.
The spark is still there, and Glen and Glenda is like
Pissing his pants.
pissing his pants. So he's like, I don't know, like I don't know what to say about Glen and Glenda. I feel like was the murderous part of them like was it an undertone because they still are the child of two serial killers, so he
Well,
has that undertone.
remember the dreams,
Yeah.
because that opening scene was a dream. So I always felt like the violent dreams were Glenda
Yes.
and the twitchy P was Glen. Like Glen was the more dominant personality
Hmm.
until he met Chucky and Tiffany,
Hmm. Hmm. And I
right?
think that might be why he did have accidents. Well, I keep saying they had accidents on themselves because you're trying to suppress. You're trying
Yeah,
to.
I said I think that he was just the more that Glenn was the more dominant personality until they both came across Chucky and Tiffany. But when he's like, when they're in the blood and they're smiling at each other, he was like, they're stark raving mad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just
Glenn didn't know. Glenn was like, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
these are my parents. Like what? So we see actress Jennifer Tilly is playing herself in a movie. She's playing a fictional part of herself in this movie, and I like that it was her idea to like poke fun at herself.
Yeah, she said she wanted to play like the most bitchiest version that she had, all the rumors that she had heard about herself, everything that she wanted in this movie.
It was great. It was great seeing her play this fictional character of herself.
And her assistant Joanne was in
Yeah,
S Club 7.
she was. She
which is
was.
so funny to me that she was in this movie. But yes, the scenes with Joanne and Jennifer
Yeah.
are hilarious to me when they were talking about the movie and she's talking about Julia Roberts.
Yes, like I was like, damn, if I was Julia Roberts, I would feel some type of way.
Well, Don said that the studio demanded that they write that line that Joanne says when she's like, that's not true, Jennifer. They demanded that be in there so they didn't get sued for defamation.
Yeah.
Because the way Jennifer went in on Julia Roberts and she was like, I should have been Aaron Brockovich. I could have did it without the push-up bra. I hollered.
Oh, I was like, ooh, not Julia Roberts catching strays.
Right. And she was like, I'm the
Right.
one that should have an Oscar and now I'm here fucking a puppet.
Man, yeah. This was great. This was great. So she comes in and sees the decapitated head of the sound of the special effects guy. She think it's fake. She think it's fake. She pick it up and
Because she got her candy bar back from Chucky.
yes, she took that candy bar off, which I'm like, genius, right? This is kind of genius.
Because she was trying to sneak a candy bar and Joanne showed up with her skinny quick and she stuck it in Chucky. So she said, I'm going to get my candy bar back.
Man, I remember. You never forget when you got a candy bar stashed off somewhere.
And she found it too. And she was tearing that thing up.
Man. So once she realizes that this head is real, she screams and the police are all there. They get there. The dolls are looking, they looking back and they hitch a ride in the limousine and they aren't seen by anybody. And
Never.
we're introduced to another like character that goes nowhere. So Jennifer Tilly's driver clearly is in love with her. Like in love with her.
He's
And
practicing.
he's practicing his lines of how he's gonna tell her how he feels. And it's Jennifer Tilly. So of course he never he never does it. He never gets the courage.
But did you get the feeling that she liked him too? Because
Yeah.
she hopped in the front seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know they was doing their thing, but like I think she had feelings for him too. It's just he was just the driver, so he couldn't do nothing for her. But she straight was like, "Can I sit up here with you?"
Yeah. Yeah. And now also another thing I like in this movie that Tiffany and Chucky, they try to explain to Glen of like why they kill and why like it relaxes them.
Yes.
It's something. It does something for them.
That shit is so funny. When
It's hilarious.
first of all, Tiffany has an existential moment when she even sees Jennifer, and she was like, Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, she's beautiful. She has the voice of an angel, which I'm like, yes, I love it.
But Chucky, first of all, Glenn asking them like, "Are we from Japan?" And he's like, "Nah, we from Jersey."
Yeah, Jersey nigga from Jersey.
why he in the back getting drunk?
Right. Because they like, hey, we in limousine, babes. We got some champagne.
And they breaking the whole plan down to Glenn like this was about to happen.
Right. First things first, babes. Okay. We got business to take care of. We're not gonna waste no time. None at all. So we see the funniest thing.
This nigga.
The funniest. I feel like the whole like Jennifer Tilly trying to audition for this movie, this religious movie
By
that's being directed by Redmond. And I like how in this movie she kept calling him Redmond.
Yes. When I tell you, when Joanne was like reading to her about it, she's like, "What's the role?" And she was like, "The Virgin Mary." And she's like, "What? I could play the Virgin Mary." And this bitch really said, "I always liked how she wore the scars and she wore her hair like this, like Jennifer. That has nothing to do with the Virgin Mary."
Baby, please. That is not like we going off the rails a little bit.
Nothing. That does not make you qualify to play the Virgin Mary because she wore her hair like this.
Right. So Redmond is not, he's not impressed by her audition. So he kind of tells her like, I just don't think you're right for the part. She's like, well, just come to my house. Like Jennifer, this fictional Jennifer Tilly is totally ready to sleep with the director to get her part
Yes.
because allegedly,
But he
allegedly that's
told
what
her that he wanted Julia Roberts.
Mm. Like Julia Roberts kept catching strays. Like
I don't know.
who got the problem with Julia Roberts? But
No,
this
no.
was back then when was
She
this
was
around the time?
yeah, she was really major back then, yeah.
Yeah, she
But that
was.
shit was funny as hell. He was like, "Oh, we're thinking about Julia Roberts."
Man,
But
that ticked her
the
off.
way they were reading the lines was just like way too like hearing him try to enunciate. And might I say, I have been a fan of Redman since the 90s.
Hmm.
And this is the finest that man ever looked was in this movie.
He did. He looked cleaned up. He looked
Yeah,
good.
he didn't look as crusty as he normally did.
He did. He actually cleaned up nice for this movie.
Yes.
So funny. Which I'm like, really? This is the guy that y'all have like as the
But the way he was the way he was reading those lines.
man.
Thou have never lain with thee. I was like, why, dude? Like,
He was trying. He was trying so hard. Oh my gosh.
it was both all extra loud. Like, it was just so bad.
Yep. But that don't stop Jennifer Tilly. She is fully ready to seduce him and sleep with him
Mhm.
to get this part. Cause she needs this. And she digs so much at herself of like, I can't believe this is where my career is. And I gotta sleep with this director to get a role. Like, oh my gosh, like just so
But
hilarious.
that was the rumors back then though about Jennifer Tilly is that she was on the casting couch and
Yep,
because
yep,
she did Bound that she was always
yep.
going to be that type of person. So like, yeah, to be able to poke fun at the rumors about yourself,
Man, she poked fun at every single one though.
yes,
Like literally every single one. So
yes.
we back at the house. Oh, this was the most cringy part to me. So their plan is to knock both of them out and they're gonna artificially inseminate Jennifer Tilly. And Chucky actually like he actually like masturbates. Like I'm just like, where are we? What is happening?
Which
Right?
makes no sense to me, right? Because they overhear her in the limo telling Joanne to bring champagne to her house,
Hmm.
and her boy toy is upset. And Tiffany clearly says, like, that slut, like, she is
Yep.
so against her hooking up with Red Man. She has some self respect for herself, but y'all gonna use their bodies though.
Yeah. And the worst part is when like Chucky's about to do his little business in the cup, and he's like, I mean, can you give me some motivation? Tiff?
Yeah, and she pulls her
Was not expecting to see
doll tits.
all tits. Like, and of all people, Tiffany Valentine. Well, at this point, she's Tiffany Ray, but
I feel like that scene is the same with the Howard the Duck scene with the duck boobies. They give me the same ick. Like I did not need to see
it,
that.
ick, like so bad. Like it,
They look
like
so
y'all could have like did like a behind the shot of her showing him the tits.
yeah,
Why
it
did
is.
we? Why
I
did we
didn't want to see
reward
her
such
areola.
tits? Like, why did we have to be subjected to seeing her tits? She's such a high value woman, you know. Why do we have to? Why did we? Who was in the room that said, "Yeah, you know what? We're gonna have the animatronics people make some
Yeah,
dog
we didn't
tits."
show it last time, so we'll show it this time.
Yeah, let's go there.
But that's the
Why
crazy
not?
part. Like she to like they're planning this and like Jennifer Tilly. Well, okay, wait. Can we talk about how sweet Joanne is? Just for
She
5 seconds.
She is.
She's the
Yeah.
best assistant in the world, and she's writing Jennifer fan letters in different handwritings because Jennifer's upset she doesn't get fan letters anymore. She gets no. Hold on, what did she say? I get no fan mail. I get no paparazzi. So like, Joanne
Yes.
goes above and beyond to like write these fan
Joanne
letters.
was doing her damn. She was doing her
Just
due diligence.
and just when she tells Jennifer, "Hey, you don't have to do this. You're better than this," she fired her.
Yep, she was trying. Like she literally was trying to like you don't like she kind of was like the friend that Jennifer didn't know she needed for real for
Yeah,
real.
justice for Joanne because she treated her like shit in that movie.
Man. And
But yeah,
all she did was do her job.
seeing Chucky like masturbate to Fangoria was just hilarious. And apparently, it took 5 people to get that doll to masturbate.
Really?
Yes, 5 puppeteers. And
Oh my
it's
god.
weird if you go actually watch Dead Meat Jane's video where they have that clip where they talk about it. There's a clip of a guy doing this with the
Oh my god.
animatronic sleeve on. Comedy gold. Do you hear me? That's what you get paid to do.
That's what you get paid to do. Oh my gosh. They
He's
was using that $12
masturbating.
million budget.
He's masturbating to Fangoria, which like I miss that magazine. I used to get that magazine in the mail as a teenager.
Man, getting magazines in the mail was a time.
Yeah, so it was funny seeing him use fit, and the girl has like her face like halfway rotted off, and he's like really turned on by this.
He is so turned on with just like, okay, I knew Chucky was sick. Okay, I knew he was sick, but this is the type of sick I didn't need to see. I didn't need to
And
know
in
this
fact,
part of him.
that laugh while he's doing it, like
Yes,
he's laughing hysterically while he's masturbating. That is some sick shit.
man. And the whole time, a paparazzi guy is out the window. He is out the window taking pictures, looking like, what the hell is
Yeah, because he's trying to get pictures of Redman and Jennifer,
going on?
and they're drinking the drug champagne that Tiffany put in the bottle, and they're making out, and he's getting pictures of that. And you see little Tiffany behind in the picture with the statue, and then he
Yep.
sees Chucky in the window. He sees a masturbating midget,
Yes,
which that's John Waters,
it is. It is. Yep.
which I thought was so great. So I found out the reason how he got in this movie, right, is because the kid that played Andy in part 3, right,
Okay.
the teenager was
Yeah.
in Serial Mom. Serial Mom was made by John Waters, and he casted that kid because he was in Child's Play 3. So he was
Oh.
already a really big fan.
Okay. Okay.
And Don Mancini found out through that kid that John Waters loved Chucky or whatever.
Okay.
So he wrote a part for him,
Okay.
specifically for him. So that part had nothing to do with the script. He just really wanted to put John Waters in the movie because they're both a part of the community. And if you've watched Pink Flamingos, which I mean, what can you say about Pink Flamingos is infamous, for the poopy scene, and Divine, which, funny enough, Ursula is based off of Divine from
Okay.
Pink Flamingos,
Okay. Okay.
right? And Divine also was supposed to be in A Nightmare on Elm Street 6
Okay.
in the airplane before she died, and Divine was also in Hairspray as Tracy Turnblatt's mom. So John Waters had like a really big deal with Child's Play, but I love John Waters. He's known for campy movies, and Don Mancini's known for these campy horror movies. So to me, it was like a match made in heaven.
This was definitely a match made in heaven.
His name was, that's when he played Pete Peters. Pete Peters, that was his name. In Seed of Chucky. Like, that's the worst reporter name ever, but Pete Peters.
Yes. So he is getting, but I mean, he is getting some footage. He is getting some good damn footage.
Yes. And he was like, oh, I got to develop this tonight.
Tonight, baby. I cannot wait. This is going in somebody's National Enquirer tomorrow. Oh my gosh. So yeah, Tiffany, he catches Tiffany behind the couch, knocking out Redman. And then, she makes herself known to Jennifer Tilly.
He gives her a lecture.
Gives her a whole lecture like, you need to respect yourself and you're better than that. And Jennifer is like, what the hell? Like, she screams runs away. Like, no, I'm getting the
But
hell out of here.
the fact that this bitch was like, we could do this the easy way or the
Yep.
hard way. And then she was like, but can I have your autograph first?
Right? And then Chucky walking up with his cup of semen.
What do I
And I'm
do with
like,
this?
that is a whole lot of fucking semen.
This
That
bitch
is,
said, what am I supposed to do with this?
my gosh, it's so much semen. So they get Jennifer to leave. They dragging them across the floor, which I feel like this is a good over the head shot
But why
of
she
them.
gotta call her fat?
She called her fat, and then Chucky like, hey, you see his shoes? You know what
I
that
know.
means.
I know. Chucky want to be black so bad. I can't fucking
I swear
stand
he
it.
do. I swear he do. He's like, you see his feet though, right?
And
You don't
it's
say
even
say.
it's even funnier when you remember that like Red Man's from Jersey too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even funnier because they're all from Jersey.
So good. So good. So they get them in the bed and they have, they got Jennifer's legs and she got the turkey
Oh,
baster, which is
hold on.
dripping. Mm.
Wait, back up. Because we did miss something. She called her fat. He made the joke. Oh no, wait. You're right. I'm thinking about the scene after. You right. They had them in the bed first. They were the first ones in the bed.
Yeah. And Chucky looking out the window like, and he sees the paparazzi guy run off. So he like, oh, we got company. Mm-mm. So he makes sure Tiffany like, okay, you good, right? You got this all handled and everything. She got the turkey baster with semen
Ugh.
dripping, and you hear the whoop. You hear
Oh,
the drip.
it's so
Like,
nasty.
so
It's so
nasty.
nasty.
I'm like, "Ugh, no, I don't want to see
Yeah,
semen. I don't
that
want to
was
see
too.
Chucky
That was a little too realistic
semen. It was. It
to
was.
me.
Ugh.
I think that might have been the scariest part of the movie is seeing the artificial insemination,
Ugh.
drippy turkey baster,
So cringy.
and
It was.
she was like all up in there. Like you really got to think about the semantics. And she had her like spread eagle and was like,
Yes, yes. Ugh, so bad. But Chucky is like, all right, so he see the paparazzi guy, the wheels in his head is turning. He wakes up little Glenda. She got her full little bow in her hair, everything. She is sleeping, having a good old time. He takes it off.
yes, that's what I was trying to get to. I knew it was something I had a brain fart. So
Yeah.
they have that scene upstairs where Glenn is lying down and they're having that conversation about quitting killing,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is the funniest conversation in the movie because they're really trying to him and Tiffany are going back and forth on why they should kill. And she's like, no, we have to change for our child.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
have
we
to
gotta
stop
be better.
killing. And they check Glenn and Glenda's privates and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we missed. There
That
was
was-
nothing there. And Chucky says, he's just not a shower. You'll grow into it.
and that was like their first when they first like met Glenda.
Yeah, and
And
Glenn
she,
said,
they just let them just pull their pants down. Like, okay, let's
yeah,
see,
nice and
let's see,
smooth. But
smooth.
they give them a bow. And I love when Glenn and Glenda say, I heard they said on TV that violence is bad. And he's like, no, son, violins. Violins.
They're bad. He switched it. Like that's a typical dad answer right there for
But
you. Like that is a typical.
Tiffany made him promise he wasn't gonna kill anybody. And she badgered him and he finally said, fine,
Yep. He
fine.
did it reluctantly, because he did not want to do it.
They are so married.
Yeah, he's still trying. He's still trying to be, he's still trying to make it work. But him and Glenn dip off. They dip off to make it a little trip, and they're driving. Chucky's driving,
Did this man not say in the last movie, what are we supposed to do? I steer and you work the pedals just for him to steer.
and Glenn.
And they work the pedals.
Yep.
In
And
a
I
Hummer.
They took Redmond's car.
In a Hummer.
He got a Hummer, so they driving. They behind this car, which this is a great. Oh my gosh, this is a great scene. They behind this car, and clearly it's Britney Spears. She flicks him off, and it's like, bitch, what are you doing? They run Britney Spears off the road, and it's a whole explosion. And Chucky delivers this beautiful, hilarious line Oops, I did it again.
Cheesy. So it's such low hanging fruit.
It
Such
is
low hanging fruit.
it's so dated too. Like it's dated just for that time. Cause Britney Spears was a big deal at that time too.
He could have even
That
said,
girl
I'm
looked like,
toxic. Anything, but oops, I did it again.
oops, I did it again.
It was so overused. It was so overused at that time.
It was like they didn't try hard at all to like get to
But
put the
the fact that that girl really won a competition on TV, I didn't know this, that she won a TV competition as like the best celebrity lookalike. And
yeah,
that's how they found her because she looked exactly like
she
Britney at that
did.
time.
She did. She
So they had
definitely
to put that disclaimer in the trailer.
yeah, they had to. Like, hey, this ain't her. This is
Ain't
like
her, but
not really her.
don't sue us.
Don't sue us, please.
Yes, because children gather around in the early 2000s.
About to say early 200s.
Right. That's how it feels at this point.
Right.
The early 2000s. Okay, Britney Spears was actually more than just someone to laugh at for dancing in her living room. She was actually like had a whole career. This was
Man.
before the head shaving. So this is before when she was
Woo.
America's sweetheart and she could
Yeah,
do no wrong. She was Britney Spears then is what Taylor Swift is now.
absolutely.
You said one thing bad about Britney. I mean, well, okay, I can't say Chris Crocker anymore because now Chris Crocker, her name is Kara Cunningham because she transitioned. But when Kara Cunningham was Chris Crocker and did that infamous "Leave Britney Alone," like Britney was beloved.
Yes.
You could not talk
Yes.
bad about Britney Spears,
No. And she was loved by many different like people.
including me.
Like it wasn't even just like a pop, like she was a global
She's
star.
she's an icon.
Icon. Iconic, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
To,
so
to kill her, to kill her in a movie was like ballsy.
it was, and to just have the line of "Oops, I did it again." And Brad Dourif, god damn that Brad Dourif, I just love,
I love him too.
I just
I love
love
him.
him. He could do no wrong to me. So he delivers that cheesy, so cliche line, and you know they kill Britney Spears, and we finally get to the paparazzi's lab. Like he was not playing. He is developing these pictures right now. Like he is on it, and he hears a laugh. He hears that Chucky laugh, and looks like, and Chucky's there. He don't put two and two together until he go back to the picture and like brighten it up.
Mm-hmm.
That same fucking doll, and he turns back around, gone, of course. And this was a good kill too. This was a very good scene.
But why was Chucky hanging upside down like Mission Impossible, bro? Like
another wink in the gun. Another wink in the freaking gun to.
But this was a great kill. I enjoyed it, even if it was an accident.
It was totally an accident because Glenda is like, no, like, no, stop. And the guy is backing up. He can't believe what he's seeing. He sees the freaking dolls. Chucky's hanging upside down with the knife. He's ready to do something. I don't know if he's gonna cut the man's throat. I don't know. We don't know what he's gonna do. But he falls back, and all the acid is behind him. So again, a little bottle of sulfuric acid falls on his head, crushed it cracks, breaks on his head and completely melts the side of his face off. Even though I know this was done with like a camera, CGI. When I don't know, was it CGI back then or was it called something else? This was like the early days.
Yeah, this is early. This is early CGI. This is when Chucky started going into CGI.
Yes. It looked so good because it literally melt. Like you really believe it. It's melting his face off.
This was that weird time where it was light CGI mixed with practical effects. So there was like some practical and then CGI put in. That's why it looks better than going full CGI.
Yeah. And I mean, look, it looked good. Chucky cannot be more proud of Glen at
They take that selfie with the digital camera.
Yes, which digital cameras was a whole time to be alive as well. This was a time to be alive. And just like he fell in love with Tiffany when she first killed those two people back in the day, he is like so proud and in love with his son of like, oh
They
my God,
posing with the body.
a chip off the old block, and Glenn is looking down. He like, he's already so awkward anyway. They're already so awkward
He
anyway.
said,
So
Lord, I didn't want this.
he did like, I didn't mean to, but Chucky just like he did it. Like he believes, like he wants to believe that this happened.
Yeah, and he goes, it's okay. We're not going to
He's
tell your mom.
overjoyed. Like he is overjoyed.
We're
This is
not
gonna
going
be
to tell your mom.
Yes, don't tell our mom.
It's our little
Let's take this
secret.
picture. Don't tell your mom, but let's take this picture real
Yeah,
quick.
it's like, it'll just be between us. It's our little
Yes.
secret.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So such a heartfelt moment because we still are seeing a different side of Chucky. Like he is still a homicidal maniac.
Now,
But
what
he
I
has
find
a son.
what I find hilarious is at this point in time, Tiffany is calling a 12-step recovery program, and she calls Detective Bailey's wife
Yes.
to apologize.
He's
And
making
that
amends.
and when
Yep.
you hear Detective Bailey's wife on the other end be hysterical, and she's like, "Have a good day."
Right. Like you just like I get it. She's like trying to make amends, but you just ruined this lady's whole day. Like
She's like, "I'm just, I'm in recovery, and I wanted to apologize."
the analogy of like killing for her is like
Addiction, yeah.
it's like a drug addict, you know what I'm saying? And the funniest part is when we get to the point where she is like, because this is the next day,
Yeah.
next day Jennifer Tilly wakes up
Yep.
and she tells Redman like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Like did we do this? Like what happened? But she knows something happened.
Mm-hmm. She's throwing up.
Yeah, she's throwing up, and she tells him like, "Hey, man, I'm pregnant, and you the father. She's like, I don't sleep around. I know that's a rumor, but like, I really don't sleep around." And Redman is a total jerk. Like, it ain't mine because I got a vasectomy. So if you're pregnant, you cannot be in this role. You can't be in this movie.
Right.
Like,
And she's like, "But the character's pregnant."
he's like, yeah, but still, it's not a good look. It's just not a good look. And that sends Tiffany off the edge too, because she's like that asshole. So she definitely calls the line again. She calls the hotline again and is like, because she's shaking. You see her hand shaking when she.
But why? But why is her sponsor the most supportive motherfucker on the planet? But he has no idea.
He has no idea what
he's like. Hey, everybody has a slip, man. You can't blame yourself. Everybody makes a mistake. They have a slip, and you have to just get right back on and keep moving forward. It's okay.
It's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day, and that gives her the idea of like, you know what? It's okay to have. I'm human. It's okay to have a slip up. So she goes in on that ass. She goes in on Redman because he's back. He's back at. Did he ever leave Tiffany's house? I mean,
no, he did, and he came back and he was eating dinner. So Jennifer Tilly got up and left because she was pissed off, and then that's when Tiffany was under him.
Yeah,
and he sees her, and she's like,
"Yep." Why was his inside steamy?
I don't know, but that was probably the worst effect of the movie. Them sausages, them bratwurst they have falling out.
Mm-hmm.
Those look like something. They should have put them on the grill. They look delicious.
Hey, Nas happened to walk in on that part, and he was like, why is it steamy? Why is his inside steamy? I said, I don't know, Nas. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if your insides are steamy if they get cut open. That is a good question.
I don't know, but it was, it was a decent kill because he kind of had it coming. And the funniest part was when she came back. He's trying to call her like, Jennifer. She was beginning like, I'm on the phone. Like, what are you doing? Like, she's so annoyed by him.
And it's like, you can see yourself out.
She's so over him. And then she delivers her line of like, you know what? Drop dead. And he literally drops
dead.
Like, this movie did not try hard to like get us to the point. Like it was very in our face of like
It's fucking hysterical.
it's damn near, I would say it's damn near a parody.
It
If it
really
wasn't actual
is.
Tiffany, Chucky, it would be a great parody, like Scary Movie and all them shits, because it was hilarious.
I think that's why I like it so much, because it reminds me of Scary Movie.
It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So funny. So funny. And Tiffany also, she like, Chucky like, man, I ain't trying to wait 9 months. This is about to be some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany like, no, babes, this is a voodoo pregnancy. It's accelerated. Which another thing we were never like known this. Like this was just like literally just told to us right now. A voodoo pregnancy is accelerated, which would make me ask, so do the babies? Well, specifically, I should say this. So is Glenda, this was 6 years later, right? So they should be 6 years old-ish. So is he like 6 human years, or is it like accelerated like dog years? Like, I have more questions.
I think they threw that in there. I think they threw that in there to speed up the movie, to retcon how Tiffany had a baby 24 hours later. But I don't think it had anything to do with his age.
Yeah, I really don't like.
I think it's literally the act of conception and birth. I think that's where it stops.
Yeah, the whole idea of like retconning, I'm not a fan of it, because it really just, it takes whatever we thought, what we thought right up here.
Mm-hmm.
It really just, you know what, we're gonna just have it like this. Whatever you thought, forget that and just believe what we tell you.
Yeah, because the only reason why I say I don't feel like it actually affects the age once they're born is because when you get to the end and they're having that birthday party, I mean, she was out and about with these kids, so there's no way for her to have babies in the hospital and they're like 5, 6 like the next year. So I think it really just is the conception to birth acceleration.
That's very interesting. I still have more questions, because it's like, okay, they didn't do like a voodoo chant over the semen over her belly, so it's like, how was it a voodoo?
Well, think about it, because Chucky's sperm accelerated Tiffany's pregnancy. It's still his sperm.
I still got so many questions. I'm trying to really suspend my disbelief, but I just got so many questions. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, you can't.
They plant the little seed. It's a plot. It's basically a plot device. Like, this is how they're gonna move the plot along.
Yeah, because she wakes up like hella pregnant. Like, she's already 9 months pregnant when she wakes up.
Yep.
And she calls Joanne.
Of course. Who you gonna call? Who are you gonna call in your time of freaking
And Joanne didn't have shit for her.
Yeah. As she should.
She's like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, well, you move fast.
I mean, she was like, girl, I tried to tell you. You didn't have to do it. But you done did it. But even then, she still is like, girl, you're not fat. Because she went, you're not fat. Okay, you're not fat. It's okay. Like, she still is trying to like talk her off of a ledge that she don't even need to, because she could have just hung up in her face.
But that you have to ask yourself, how many times did she fire Joanne for Joanne to have that reaction?
Yeah, Joanne was so unfazed.
Joanne was so unfazed when she was like,
fires me every week.
I think she was mad, but like she knew she was gonna call her.
Yep. So yeah, Jennifer got this full ass pregnant ass belly.
It's big.
It's a voodoo pregnancy, so it's accelerating so fast, like so fast. So this is where the movie really starts to like move fast as well.
Yeah,
like, we're getting to the shit. So she wakes up, she's screaming everything. She's on the phone with Joanne, and Chucky jumps on her. Has her screaming, and then Tiffany's on the phone too. So it's like they're going back and forth, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm just watching the movie. Like, don't pay that attention."
She's like, all that screaming. She's like, I'm watching Bound. Gina Gershon's eating me out in this scene.
Right? Like, what? I was like, what the hell? It's so funny, because Joanne is just like, what? Like, she's so funny, because there's like literally it's the same voice on the phone. So hilarious. So yeah, Tiffany is, she's taken down by Chucky, and then they also kidnap her chauffeur.
Yeah, they call his ass over because Tiffany sounds like Jennifer.
Yep, they bring, what's his name, Stan. They bring poor little Stan. I feel like he was just such a pointless character.
He pissed
They
me off
they
because
had this. They had a subplot with. They could have used a subplot with him and just did nothing with him. He was just there, like he was just there as a body that
he
they
pissed me off because now you trying to tell bitches you love them while you getting the sock stuffed in your mouth.
exactly. Like, come on, Stan. You had so much time. You had so much time to get this
So
done.
why can we talk about how Chucky obviously has a fetish for pregnant women?
Yeah,
Because he was trying to fill her up in her belly, in her boob.
yeah. He definitely was.
And Tiffany was like,
He's not all the way there. Like he's a couple of nuggets short.
which is
Sure.
so funny when you think about it
Hmm.
because of how it plays into Curse.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Like he has a fetish for pregnant women.
He does.
Clearly.
He does. So yeah, they tie Jennifer. I keep wanting to say Tiffany. They tie Jennifer Tilly to the bed with her chauffeur,
Mm-hmm.
and then another funny part. Um, he drops the picture that him and Glenn took.
Oh my God. Why are men like that? Why do men keep the evidence on them at all times?
Dummy, just so dumb. So forget Jennifer and her chauffeur. Now it's like, I thought we said we were done killing people.
We
Like,
weren't gonna do this shit anymore.
right, like we said we were done.
And
And
Chucky said, no, you said you
you
were done.
you had said that. I'm tired of hiding my bodies in the closet, and knocks all these knocks Redman and all these other bodies out the closet.
The pizza delivery guy.
Like, when did he have time to do all this? Like, dude really has a problem.
But what kills me is Chucky's like, aha.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
It was just a little slip.
Yep. They both are like having this moment of like, what in the world is
And
going on?
and their children snap.
Yes.
They've had enough.
They've had enough. Like, both of y'all just stop.
Like,
And
you're tearing me apart.
literally, like, they are like, this little person's life has been nothing but chaos since he found out who his parents were. Like, I still feel so bad for him.
Right? Like, I wonder if he like if Glen and Glenda had a point where they were like, you know what, maybe we should have just stayed in the cage.
Mm-hmm. But I still feel like this life is better than being shit faced.
You know what? I don't know if being accept. Okay, and I'm only saying that because yes, there was abuse. There's abuse on both sides, right? But shit face was the face of an act,
Mm-hmm.
and the mental torture is a lot. The levels are different.
Mm-hmm.
The torture that they're suffering, like a whole nother personality has emerged
Yeah.
being around them.
Oh yeah. It's definitely brought some things to the surface.
Like Glenda wasn't a thing until they met their parents.
Mm-hmm. Now we can put a name on this other personality you got.
Like imagine like you just have nightmares and then you get around a group of people and find out that you have a totally different person living inside of you.
Right.
That's a little bit more fucked up than someone like calling you ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But the love, Tiffany, she's my baby. That's like she loved them.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, that's true. I'm not saying serial killers can't love their children.
I think Chucky was the one he's the common denominator. He's
But probably no, because Tiffany's off her nut too. I'm just saying, like, probably not the best environment for a baby.
yeah.
Because I'm not trying to be funny or skip ahead, but like Tiffany doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Even after she succeeds, she never stopped.
Right.
She's still doing this in the TV show. So Tiffany's no better
Right. Yeah.
than Chucky. And I think that's the thing that sometimes we forget is Tiffany is sincerely no better than Chucky. Chucky's just more blunt.
Yeah. Because he even says it in that same scene. He even says it. He's like, I'm Chucky. I'm the killer doll. I'm a fucking legend. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even want to go. I don't even want to go be a human no more. Like this is like I'm. This is me. Like I done made a name for myself.
Yeah, and then they have the Jennifer has the babies,
Mm-hmm.
and they find out like, okay, well, okay, for correction, Joanne shows up.
She does. She is just good to a fault.
That's the
To
only
her
person
own
I feel
fault.
sorry for in this entire fucking movie is
Yes.
Joanne.
Yes. So she comes in the house. She's going up the stairs, very stealthy, and she sees Jennifer tied in the bed. She sees the other guy tied up in the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden we see a lighter in the hair. She is torched. And at first, like if you pause it, you can see it's clearly not Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly not Tiffany. But
It
you
happens
know,
so fast that it
you see
looks like Tiffany.
you see what we think is Tiffany, um, basically doing a flamethrower at her ass, and then Joanne falls down to her death, which
Mm-hmm.
is very sad because Joanne did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong in this. So
Nothing.
Chucky is like, well, like,
And,
okay.
and then Tiffany starts crying. He's like, "Look, Tiff, it's okay. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day."
Yep. He's still trying to like comfort her a little bit. And when this when Glenda turns around, still just god awful, just
But with
horrible,
makeup,
but with makeup. And she's like, I feel pretty, like I feel beautiful.
I love it. She's like, "Do you like my dress? I made it myself."
I lost it.
I
I
love it. I love it. Glenda's like, "Yeah, I'm a bonus baby, a real lady killer."
Yep.
I love it.
I loved it too. That's why I'm like,
Glenda has so much swag,
she
like her
does.
mama.
Yep. Yep. Very confident too. Like
Yes.
so confident, not questioning anything. Glenn is the one that's like, I don't know, very like still on the fence. Glenda is a lady who
Yeah.
knows she's
Seeing like Glenda interact with Tiffany, and
hmm
because Glenda is clearly Chucky, right?
hmm
And Glenn is clearly Tiffany. So seeing a female, like a real female Chucky, to the
hmm
point where like Tiffany has to slap her.
Yep. Slap
And
some sense. She gave her that mama slap too. Like,
yeah,
snap out of it.
because she was being completely hysterical like Chucky. And then Glenda comes back and you get that heartbreaking line where Glenn says, "What?" Glenn and Glenda, they say, "What am I?
Mm,
What's wrong with me?"
still don't know. We still like don't know what the hell is going on, babes.
And Tiffany and Chucky kind of look at each other, and Tiffany's like, "It's okay."
hmm
And then we find out they don't have to choose.
Yep. Because she has delivered a baby boy. Oh my gosh, it's a boy. And I like how she shows up with the blue blanket.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, okay, we're not done here. Oh, it's a girl. Pink blanket. It's like
Conveniently, a pink and blue blanket
so
there.
convenient. So convenient. So she's like, well, I guess I don't have to choose. So it's
Hmm.
like, okay.
And
Oh.
it's interesting because even before the babies come out, they say, "I don't want to choose."
Mm-hmm.
So they already declared they weren't going to choose,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
which is so bold.
Yep. Very, I would say it's also very I like it. I like that.
I love it.
I like that they take that leap of like, you know what? I don't want to choose.
Yeah, I have a firm belief in you don't have to. If that's truly who you are and how you feel, you don't have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have always been a fan of Glenn and Glenda. They are love them
Yep.
because you don't really have because most of the time when you have like trans, non-binary type of characters, like for instance, like Malignant
Mm-hmm.
or there's this old Michael Caine movie called Dress to Kill
Mm.
where he has the same thing. Like by day, he's a psychologist, and at night, she is murdering people, but it's really him. But
Mm-hmm.
he's not aware that he has this female persona. It's
Okay.
always done in a way of like they're so villainous and vile and evil, and they're gonna hurt you. And Glen and Glenda enter into this fold of like they're sweet and charming and endearing.
Yep.
That like I can't vilify Glen and Glenda at all. Like Tiffany, I'll always give kudos to, but I can still see the villain in her.
Yeah.
When it comes to Glen and Glenda, I never see them as a villain.
Yeah.
Never. Not even Glenda.
Interesting.
I don't. I don't. If anything, I just see it as well, that's what happens when you have to suppress who you are.
Yeah. That's a very valid point right there.
Mm-hmm.
Very valid point.
I love them. And I love that they don't have to choose. And I
Yep.
love where Glen and Glenda are now in the timeline of the TV show.
Yes, I like it too.
Now that they're Gigi
Yep.
and they're back in the doll.
I like it. I like it.
And they're going to they like Gigi has nails and lashes and like a bedazzled jacket and the scarf.
Mhm.
And Gigi said, "You know what, mommy? I'm going to travel the world. I'm going back to London."
I love it. I love it.
Because I'm not going to front, like, watching the show, I was cool seeing Glen and Glenda as a separate entity because we always wondered what happened.
Yeah.
But I was happy they went back to being in the doll as one. They always worked better together to me.
Yeah.
I felt like they tried to make them two different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love Gigi. I stand Gigi. I think that Gigi's one of the best damn queer characters ever. Even to the point where Chucky says, you know, I have a queer child, and he's like, you know, I'm a murderer, not a monster.
Yeah.
Like, even Chucky can accept his own child.
Absolutely. But one thing he cannot accept.
Tell it, girl.
He cannot accept Tiffany is like, you know what? You might be okay with being this infamous doll, but I'm gonna take Glen and Glenda, and we're leaving you.
She said, I want to be Jennifer. She said, I want to be Jennifer Tilly.
Yep. She's like, I'm not doing this with you. So
Like,
I'm taking the kid. I'm taking my kid, and we're leaving.
I mean, not that I'm not even mad at her, but like, bruh, I'm about to be rich and beautiful. Fuck what you talking about.
I'm not mad at that.
And
I'm
Tiff,
never gonna be mad
like
at that.
Tiff is from the trailer park of Jersey. Okay,
I'm not going back.
She's about to be living in a mansion.
Yeah, I'm not going back to going to the projects. Basically, like I'm not going back to there.
I'm taking the kids and I'm
taking the kids. And Chucky being the freaking man, him being the psycho that he is, he tries to throw a knife at Jennifer to stop. He throws a knife to try to stop her from leaving him. And then that's when he saves the chauffeur guy. He jumps in and takes a knife for Jennifer. Because I look. Like you can't even in death, you still cannot muster up the balls to tell this woman that you love her. I didn't like it.
But this is so Chucky, right? Like Chucky's never gonna let Tiffany be happy without him. Now that he has her back, she'll never be happy without him.
That's why it's like you got to be careful what you wish for, girl. Because now he's like, you're not leaving.
But he told her that in Bride. He said, "You're mine now, doll.
Yep, you're mine now.
You got your wish. You're mine now."
Yep.
Because when he says, "Nobody leaves me,"
nobody, that was scary. That was some.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part because he really meant that. It's either death. He's like, either you're going to die before you leave me.
Death do us part.
That's very scary. So the police show up, rush Jennifer and her babies to the hospital. The dolls, they flee, but they go to the hospital.
They think she crazy because she keep talking about these dolls.
Yeah. So
and there's like, hold on, because there was 1, 2, 3 bodies in the closet. Joanne, and that's 5 bodies in the house.
Yeah. And somehow she is like cleared of the murders.
Well, she was tied up. So
she was tied up. So she's cleared of the murders, but they're like, she realized you gotta chill on this talking about the dolls because they will take your babies, girl. Like they will take your babies. But she's wondering, like, where are my babies? Where are my babies? And we get to the hospital and Tiffany and Glenda are in the room with her, and they're like, okay, she's like a woman on the move. I'm about to transfer our souls. We
Yeah,
about to
she
get
put
this, we about to
that
get this going.
that medicine in her IV and knock her out real quick.
Knock her out real quick. We ain't wasting no time. And guess who shows up getting the axe through the door?
Like fucking Jack Nicholson.
Another wink in the gun. And as
But
soon as he make it through, he like, I can't think of a thing to say.
I know, like you're so corny, Chucky, but I love you.
Oh my gosh. Like, I can't think of one thing to say.
Because you know what he's supposed to say.
Right. Like you're supposed to say the line. But
Say
he
a
don't.
line.
They just poking fun. They just poking fun at all of our favorites of like, look at this. Remember
But
this? You know what this look like. Yeah.
yeah, and she's like, all right, I'm doing this chant. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you finally hear the chant.
Yes.
Right?
Finally.
Because in Bride, the chant is totally different.
I know, right?
Right? And it's been totally different. It was totally different in part 2.
Yes. Yes.
So the
'Cause it's
fact that,
different too.
yeah, the fact that now it's gone from awake and all this shit to switch.
Yeah.
So like, did Chucky have it wrong all this time?
Mm. Maybe.
Because
Maybe.
we know who got the job done.
Right. And this is at the point where like we as a viewer, we think that this shit has happened. Like it's done.
Yeah,
But
because
like
he
I said,
busted her in the
Chucky,
fucking forehead.
yeah, he broke down the door with the axe. Nobody at the hospital seemed to see this.
Or
So
hear it.
he bust in, cracked Tiff right in her fucking shit with the axe. And so sad with her last dying words to Glen and Glenda. Ugh, she still is like, be better than me. Like, still
Mm-hmm.
be better than us, than your parents. Be better than us. And
Yes.
this is where Glenda comes out and she freaking loses it. And she
But it's not. Remember, because Chucky says Glenda, and Glenn says, no, it's me. It's your
oh
boy.
yeah. Oh yeah. He did. He definitely did. Like, it's your boy. It's your boy. So
The
he
chip
does
off the old block.
he does flip. He do some Matrix shit. Like he flips it around, do some taijutsu and all this shit, and he chops Chucky into pieces.
He whooped Chucky ass. I mean, let's just keep it real.
He whooped his ass, grabbed that axe, and got the hacking.
Yeah, because he
Even
grabs.
though
Yeah, he's like grabbing the axe, and Chucky's like, Glenda, and he's like, no, it's me, your
Yep.
boy, the chip off the old block. You
Yeah.
like me now, daddy?
Glen freaking lost it.
Because he saw him kill his mama.
Yeah, that was it. That was all he needed to see to know, like, you gotta go. And even as he is hacked into pieces, right before he chops off his head, Chucky's still talking shit. He is still talking.
But he's encouraging him, like he's still supporting Glenn.
Still. Like, we can't make this shit up. We cannot make this shit
Like,
up.
how are they like technically good parents, but not at the same time?
Man.
Because Chucky's like, you know what? If you gotta kill me,
Yep.
do add a boy.
Yep.
Like he's proud of him.
Yep. Still.
For standing up to him.
Yep. And then Glenn, oh, it's so sad. Because this is where it's like, God damn, so now what's about to happen?
What happened?
What happens? So we fast forward 5 years later.
Hold on. Nope. Because Jennifer Tilly wakes up and she comes up behind Glenn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And she goes, it's okay. It's okay. But you don't know why she's doing that.
I was wondering, like, well, did it work? Because Tiffany, the doll, was still talking
right
at the end with her last dying breath. So I'm like, did it work? Is this Jennifer Tilly? Is it Tiffany? Like, who is this? We don't really know till we get to 5 years later.
We just know that Glen and Glenda are crying because Chucky's dead.
Yeah, heartbroken, just so heartbroken.
And she's comforting them. She's not scared.
Yep.
She's really comforting them.
Yep. Yep. So 5 years later, we finally speed up 5 years later, and it is a birthday party going on. It's a big ass birthday party going on, and Jennifer Tilly is talking to her nanny.
Nanny.
The nanny's like, hey, Glenn is adorable. He's an angel. But that goddamn Glenda, like, she's evil. And we see this red haired little girl looking through the window,
Big red hair.
big red hair, which I'm like, did the semen change his DNA? Because Charles Lee Ray, the person, wasn't a redhead, but
It doesn't make any sense why Glenda's hair is so big and curly because Glen's hair is red and straight.
I don't get it.
But I find it creepy that like my child looks like Glenda with the deadpan eyes. Like that's just how he be looking on a regular basis. Something wrong with that boy. But yeah, Glenda was like, "Bitch, you dead."
Yeah, because I mean the nanny was talking hella shit about Glenda.
Right, and she's like, "What happened to the one before me?"
Right. That makes you think, what happened? So Jennifer Tilly, she still got the Tiffany doll. She still has the doll, just looking so cute in
With
the corner.
the little stitch.
Yes, stitched her back up. So now so as a viewer, we thinking like, okay, so did it work? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have the doll, you stitched it back together. So what happened?
Right, because why else would the babies be named Glen and Glenda?
Exactly. So she takes that doll and whacks that damn nanny over. She cracks her damn head
With
open.
a yard full of children and parents outside.
Yeah.
And you see those eyes turn green?
Yep. The eyes turn green. We like, okay, that was Tiffany. So it did work. So here we are 5 years later. And she goes back to the party like nothing happened.
And she brings the doll outside.
Yep. Nothing happened. We go back outside and they got a table full of toys.
Aww.
And Glenn grabs a package and they're like, oh, who is this from? We don't know. When they do that, we got a package and we don't know who it's from.
We already know.
We know what's about to happen. So
we've been here before, boo.
He opens up the box and it's Chucky's arm. And then that's when he starts twitching. And it's like,
peeing. He starts peeing on himself.
Oh shit, it's back on. And then the arm grabs his neck. And then that's it. That's the end of the movie. Such a fun, wild.
It's just funny. Like, I feel like sometimes as horror fans, we get into this like pocket of like everything needs to be canon and everything needs to be so terrifying. I love my horror icons because they're scary, and I also love when they're playful. There's room for both. That's why it's called dark humor. I think with everything, the 4 movies beforehand, to get this just completely bonkers, funny ass Chucky and Tiffany, and then adding a child into it and showing this like slice of life, but with criminals, I liked it. It's funny.
I would give a lot of props to Don Mancini, like you said, to take it from where it was in the very beginning. You have to really to put a spin on it like that. That's creative.
Like this was the one. This was the Chucky movie that made Marcus not afraid of Chucky anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he can watch all of them and he's like, oh God, it's so funny. But before he was terrified of them. But then he saw Steve and was like, oh, this is hilarious. So, I just think it's funny. Like it's okay to have fun with horror movies. They don't have to be perfect. Like, am I a fan of A Nightmare on Elm Street 6? Yes. Do I take it as a serious Freddy movie? No, but it's fucking funny.
Is that the Freddy's Dead one?
Yes. That's with the power glove. That shit's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And once Freddy, I think that was Freddy's Dead.
Yeah.
He was rapping at the end and during the like end credits.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
He was rapping. Freddy was definitely rapping at the end of the credits.
I'm just saying, like, it's just funny. Or like Jason Goes to Hell. It's funny to me.
And it didn't make no sense either because you
No.
mean to tell me you eat his heart and you become him? Like
That
what?
shit was the most hilarious. That's the most hilarious. That and Jason X, hilarious.
Mm,
Like, there's
mm.
nothing wrong with sometimes taking a divert to shit just being funny. It's okay sometimes.
It's okay. I mean, at this point, when you get to a franchise, when you get to these franchises like, excuse me, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Child's Play. Once you get to these solidified, they've already set the tone that they can be scary if they want to. Why not take a hilarious turn? You know?
I mean, honestly, the only movie that's been able to do both ever is Scream, and that's why people love it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Definitely.
you take these icons and make them hilarious, and the only other horror icon in my mind that I can think of, well, there's two that I can think of, and I won't even call them an icon at this point,
Mhm.
but they're on their way,
Okay.
is Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Okay.
Just as goofy but gruesome, and Candyman. Candyman has never been hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Candyman is always he was the how do I say this in a respectable way?
oh shit.
Candyman was one of the boringest villains.
No.
He was kind of boring to
See,
me.
I don't think of Candyman as boring. Candyman is a classic villain. Candyman
Yeah.
is your Nosferatu, your Dracula, your Frankenstein. He's more inclined to like the universal style of villains,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
That's what I think. That's what bored me. I think I'm one of the new. I'm one of the new kids on
Yeah,
the
see,
block. Like,
I like Candyman. I've always said Candyman is like a black version of like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
yeah, yeah. I still love Candyman, and I'm glad that they didn't take any type of like comedic route with
No, it
Candyman,
wouldn't have worked.
but he don't have enough films in that franchise to do that to
I
where
just
it's like we didn't did
I just
everything at
feel
this
like
point.
Candyman is more of a romantic take on horror.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely became something
Yeah.
different. You know what I'm saying? Like it was different. Which that like another there's not another film franchise or even villain that you can compare to Candyman. He is in a
No,
lane by himself, which
completely.
is what I love. You know, which is what I love. Like, you know, it's 2023 at this point. We know that original ideas are lacking. So
Yeah.
the fact that there hasn't been anybody comparable to Candyman in the fact that they did like that sequel thing, the new Candyman, which was like a
A
kind of like a sequel.
requel.
It was a requel, it was something. I think it still was done in a good way where it made him scary again. Because the first Candyman to me was kind of boring. Didn't see much of Candyman himself, and even with the second one, the second when you get to different ones in the franchise, it took a turn. It took a turn and another
I'm even
turn.
fine with the second one. It's the third one I don't like. The second one, fine. I'll buy this. It's like the great granddaughter. I don't care. It's the third one that just wasn't any good under any circumstances. They changed his
Yeah.
coat. They changed the hook. They changed a lot about it.
The
But
third one was I wasn't a fan of the third one at all.
I'm
Um,
just proud of us for being consistent because we literally only have three more movies to go.
yep, and it's gonna get good. Curse is where it kind of
Yes.
it breathes life back into the franchise, which is like, how is this franchise just keep on going? It keeps getting new life breathed into it, like because
So
Bride brought it back, and Curse brought it the fuck back too.
Curse is 9 years after Seed. So we took a
Mhm.
nice long break again. And I appreciate Don for taking breaks so he actually gets fresh ideas. You gotta love that.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
as usual, I'm gonna hit you with a little bit of trivia before we go into
Yes,
the next one. So this is the movie that has the infamous practical joke bus stop. Now,
yes.
when they had the people behind the billboard and they would pop out and chase people,
Hmm.
this was the movie for that. This was what the marketing was for Curse,
Yeah.
which I love those videos. You
Yep.
can still see those videos on YouTube of people sitting at the bus stop with the Curse of Chucky billboard and him popping out and chasing them. Love that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, this is before they got to like de-aging people in movies. So Brad Dourif actually had to go like under a lot of makeup and stuff to kind of resemble how he did in the original for the flashback
And
scenes.
he definitely looked
He
every bit
looked a
of.
little older, just a tiny bit older.
He
This is when
did.
we get into Fiona Dourif playing Nika, which is his daughter,
Yes.
right? The film was shot in 30 days.
Yes.
This is the first film to actually have Charles Lee Ray in it again since the original.
Yes.
And Don Mancini, this is like says this is his first real film.
Yep.
Because he always saw Seed as more of a comedy. So to him, this is his first horror movie.
Yeah. And this one had a very, very, very small budget.
Yes, and this was the first film to be direct to video.
I saw it on Netflix when it first came out, because when this was what, 2017?
Yeah, I want to say it was 2017.
So yeah, 2017. No, I'm sorry,
2013. 2013.
So yeah, 10 years ago. If we kind of around, like, it was released on video on demand about September-ish.
Yeah, see, I saw it on video on demand. I actually rented it.
Yeah. So we are coming up on like the 10th anniversary of this movie, which is crazy to think that that film came out 10 years ago.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like, come on, 10 years ago? Because I was taken aback by, like, it's a new, what, Curse of Chucky? I don't know about this, but I watched it. I had Netflix at the time, so I was like, I'm going to watch it. Let's see if it's funny. You know what I'm saying? You know, Seed was still in the rearview mirror of, like, that's the last we saw of him. And I think they did a great job. This was also written and directed by Don Mancini, so I feel like it was great. But we will get into all of that.
Yes.
6 weeks. That's 6 weeks. All right, next week's the 6th installment.
We are doing so good.
Yeah, Curse of Chucky. So, any final thoughts you want to give about Seed?
I feel like I would have liked one more movie with Chucky, Tiffany, Glen, and Glenda. Personally, like I feel like it should have been a trilogy instead of just a sequel. Like I just think they should have just finished it out. Like they really should have.
Yeah.
Maybe have them get out the bodies and have Tiffany put them back in the doll. I don't know, whatever. But I've always wanted to see more of that dynamic because it was so funny. But I understand they wanted to move on and make it more serious because Curse is considered an actual like reboot.
Yes.
The first reboot, right? So
yeah, because that one it revisits and it mentions the very first Child's Play movie.
Yeah, so it was a requel before a requel was a thing.
Yep. I liked it though.
But no, I'm excited to go over this one next week because this movie I can say as an adult, and I remember being in my house.
Yeah,
I rented it. I watched it. I was working second shift then, and I watched it. It was late, and I had to call my boyfriend at the time and make him come over to my house because I was terrified.
It was scary. That movie was dark.
It scared the fuck out of me.
Every scene that movie was just dark, and if you watched it at home by yourself at night and it's raining outside, yeah, it's scary.
And this was the time where Marcus was 2 years old.
Oh yeah.
So he was a sleepwalker at the time.
Yeah.
So I was terrified.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited, and I can't wait to finish the rest of the series until we get to the fucking remake. I think that's when I'm gonna have my moment again.
Yeah, we're gonna go in on that one. We is gonna go in on that one.
But we appreciate you guys. We also have a new subscriber on our YouTube, so we're up to 12.
Yeah, we up there.
And we're up to 121 on Facebook. So we really appreciate you guys. And please don't forget, if you didn't catch the live, we will be uploaded by midnight on our YouTube channel, Horror Talk with Nisi and May, where you can like, share, comment, subscribe, catch up on our previous videos if you have missed those. We appreciate the love that you guys are showing us over there as well. And I don't know, I just love you to pieces. Just want to hug all of you.
we do have a new schedule. So we used to go live on Monday nights. So now
Yes.
we're gonna do Tuesday nights. School is back in session for the kiddos. So our
Yes.
schedule's changing a little bit, but same thing applies. We're gonna go live Tuesdays now, and then it'll be uploaded at midnight Wednesday on YouTube. So
Yes.
just a push, it's just a pushback of another day.
If anything ever changes, we will always let you guys know
Yep, but we
for
definitely
sure.
appreciate all the love, all the views. Um, we like even the few comments we getting of like trolls. I'm like, I guess that's a new level we didn't attain. We got trolls now in our.
I know. I saw that, and you were like, "Thanks for the engagement," and I just like was like, "Yes, that's great." Like I said the
I mean,
same thing. Like, "Oh well, thank you."
a view's a view, so I'll take it. You can hate it all you want to, but a view's a view, so I'll
Yeah.
take
I mean, I'm hoping by next year we will be able to be monetized.
it. Yeah, we're
That would
gonna
be
get there.
awesome if we could hit that because we just need 500 subscribers on our YouTube,
Yeah, we
and
definitely need that.
we're getting there slowly. We're
We
getting
get
there.
we getting there. We getting there.
Yeah.
What's gonna be the in the title of this one on YouTube?
You are always making. Well, okay, what do you want it to be? Because you always give me what you want in the title card. So tell me what you want in the title card. I'll put it in there.
I don't know. Maybe we could do some like, oops, they did it again, or something
Perfect.
along that
I
lines.
will. I will do. Oops, they did it again.
Oh, yes. Oh, but I do, like I said, I love this movie. I love certain parts of this movie. I did think some parts were cringy, could have been left out. I wasn't expecting to see doll tits, and it was good. I wasn't expecting to see doll tits and doll semen, but here we are. We have it. So I appreciate what Don Mancini did. See, Don Mancini can do no wrong to me. Even if
No.
he takes it off the rails, I'm gonna go off the rails with him. I
Yeah.
can't help it. I'm gonna just go off the rails with him. And when he bring it back, which he brought it back with Curse, I'm still on that train.
Which I promise you, seeing that trailer for season 3 of Chucky and knowing he's going to be in DC is just like,
I'm ready.
what are you going to do with this? I don't know, but I want to see it.
I'm so ready for season 3. So ready.
I am
I
too.
gotta refresh. I gotta refresh on season 2, though. I do have to admit
No,
that.
I can't wait. See, like I said, sending you that trailer, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is amazing.
This is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. So I'm definitely here for it. But we are gonna end. We're gonna wrap it up right here at an hour and 41 minutes. We're gonna wrap it up here. So join us next week. We are gonna get into the 6th installment called Curse of Chucky. And I can't wait to just gush and talk about Fiona Dorff. I can't wait to talk about her. I love her. And I think it's so heartwarming that she got to like Brad, like Chucky's been a part of her life, her whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So to see how proud he was of his daughter and how she was so happy to make him proud, I might drop a little tear just for that because
Oh my
that's
God. All right.
beautiful. But all right,
We're done, Softy.
yes. We talk about, talking besides the murderous, psychopaths, but they're sweet.
Overlook that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.